If you run a community interest company, a charity, or a small business and you feel like you're buried under emails, policies and forms, then this video is for you. It will save you hours every week. If you're just starting out and not sure what systems to set up to save you time, then keep watching. I'm Philippa Bonham. I'm a business development consultant and an enterprise coach. I know that it's rarely the big things that burn you out. It's usually a collection of little things, and one of those things being admin. So let's fix that today with habits that you can set up in less time than it takes to make a cup of tea. I'm filming this at the time of the year when I'm considering getting my next diary for 2026. Now, I love a good diary. I love planners and notebooks. I write a lot and I plan a lot. And for some people like me, you'll enjoy scheduling those little important bits of your life. And I've found that some people love doing the scheduling, as in writing it down, planning in how it fits with everything else in your life, family commitments, hobbies, health and well-being, pet care, holidays. I also know people who absolutely hate the idea of planning or writing a schedule. Now, it's not only the ones who enjoy the planning process, i.e. the writing it down and the scheduling, who are the ones that successfully stick to their plan. It may all be written down and scheduled in and look pretty with different colours, but they ignore it or they deviate from the plan. Which one are you? Do you spend a lot of time planning and scheduling only to deviate or ignore it? Just forget to even look at it? Or are you someone who hates planning, refuses to schedule anything in, you work on intuitive basis? That's fine. Perhaps you're that rare breed who stick to the plan, maybe deviate or change when things crop up, but the basic habit of sticking to your plan is something you regularly stick to. So tell me, which one are you? Which one would you rather be? Remember, to be successful, we need to plan for reality, not perfection. So here's an example of my schedule. This sits near my diary. I have time blocked in for clients, and I have CEO time, and I have family time and exercise time. I run two businesses, a for-profit private consultancy company and a community interest company, which both require me to work in the business as well as on the business, both strategic and operational tasks. So there's a lot going on. And because I have so much going on, it means I have to stick to the schedule mostly, because this makes sure I can fit in all the demands. Here's a copy of my Google Calendar, and here you can see I've put different colours for each different activity. So you can see wake up 6:30, exercise first thing. And I stole this idea from Ali Abdaal. If you've seen him on YouTube, he has some really good productivity tips. So you'll see each part is a different colour code. So we've got emails. Now I spend half an hour emails in the morning and a half in the evening, unless someone tells me they're specifically sent something that I need to work on, particularly at that time. You'll see I've split between deep work in the morning and then creative work in the afternoon. Now, I do put lunch breaks in. Whether I have them is anyone's guess. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I do try to have those lunch breaks in. And then again, a break in the afternoon. And then I like to take the dog for a walk later on at night and then have a bedtime routine later on. Admittedly, I don't stick to this routine rigidly, and in my diary you'll see where there's deep work and creative work. That will then, in the diary, that as in the physical write in the diary, I'll put which client I'm working for and what the job is to do, so I can keep track of my hours. But generally, this is the structure that I stick to wherever I can, and it works well for me. It's really easy to set up on Google Calendar. You can colour code everything that you want according to how you want to see it and how it works best for you. Remember that life gets in the way, so things will need to change. You can't rigidly stick to a plan, because you may have a client that doesn't give you all the information you need, so you therefore can't work on that piece of work that you'd planned in for that chosen day. That's okay as long as there's not a deadline attached, so you move that into a similar batch of time and make the best use of that time. Each part of your day, your week, needs to be focused on income, marketing, and building the business. So you need to factor those into your schedule. Now let's think about time saving on tasks. So I look at the 4 Ds of leadership. So I use this for emails and for project tasks too. So first one, delete. If you don't need it, then delete it, particularly with emails. We sign up to all sorts of interesting articles, which then gives us a batch of weekly emails that we don't have time to read. If you haven't read the first 3, then it's highly unlikely that you'll read any more. So unsubscribe and delete. End of story. The next one is delegate. I know when you have a small team or you're a team of just one, then delegation is not easy. We're all busy, but think this through. By delegation, I may mean not necessarily another person. Perhaps AI can do it for you. Can you automate a task or similar tasks in the future? Can you outsource to a different company? Is it really necessary that you do it? The next one is defer. Now, I'm not supporting procrastination here. I'm supporting the rules of the schedule. If this task or this email would take you longer than 2 minutes, then put it in the schedule. Allocate time to it. But first ask yourself, is this really necessary to take me further towards my goals? If it's an email, then create a folder to add it into so you can go back to it when you allocate that time in your schedule to do it. If something has been deferred for a few weeks, say 2 weeks, then consider again, do I actually need this? The 4th one is do. If it takes less than 2 minutes to do it first, but don't go down a rabbit hole. So think about the concept of eat the frog. So if it's a short, quick snap, or if it's something that you don't want to do that can be done quickly, then do it first. Eat the frog. Do the do when you have scheduled it into your diary if it takes more than 2 minutes. Stick to this process every day, particularly with your 2 email slots in the morning and in the evening, and you'll see how much time you save and how organised your emails become. Remember, you can automate email responses. If you get a lot of email that requires the same responses, then it makes no sense to be typing out that response each time. This works in a similar way as when you set up your out of office emails, and that's the thing that people who take time off do. So hopefully that is you and you understand what I'm talking about. You can set auto replies in most email systems now, definitely Google and Outlook, MailStack and other email providers too. You can use rules or filters to label, forward or archive messages. You can set up smart email templates, simple automatic responses like thanks for your message, here's a link to the info pack or a booking form. Make sure your link is accessible. This looks professional and it gives people instant answers while you still get some time back. If you want to go one step further, remember you can use make.com or Zapier to send those form entries straight to your Google Sheet or your CRM, and there's no more copy and pasting needed. It does it for you. So let's be honest, no one starts a business or a social enterprise thinking, I can't wait to spend hours replying to emails and formatting spreadsheets, unless you're actually a PA business, of course. Files and forms, we have hundreds of them. So whether you're running a community interest company or a small business, create one main folder in your Google Drive, or if you've signed up to OneDrive, then the same goes for that. And I tend to have finance, funding, projects, policies, marketing, and general admin. So inside each you can add folders of relevance. So for finance you might have cash flow, You'll have your invoices, you'll have income and expenditure, you'll have saved your receipts. So everything that can be saved online in the right place should be in there. There's not much need for paper these days if you're spot on with your filing and recording. In your admin folder, you may have subfolders to separate out your admin requirements. For each file, use a naming convention that includes the year and an indication of what the files contain, so you can find it easily when you need to. So for example, you might have 2025 finance invoices and then the number of the invoice. If you need to, you can duplicate the folder systems for each new project. The time saved when you can go direct to a file rather than scrabbling around on your emails or your desktop to find it will be worth it. You can't ever get that wasted time back. Being organised can feel like it takes way too much time, but trust me, sort out your systems and keep to a structure. Become a habit, but you'll save bags of time later. That time saved compounds, so 1 minute you save now will be 10 minutes by the end of the day, and 10 minutes a day will become maybe a week's holiday by Christmas. And yes, you deserve that holiday. Automate repetitive tasks. Let tech do the tedious stuff. So for example, make.com. You can connect to apps without coding, so when someone fills in your Google form, for example, it can email you automatically. You can add their details to a Google Sheet and it can send them a welcome email, all while you're just making coffee. For social media, I've used tools like Hootsuite, Sprout Social. You can schedule your posts across LinkedIn, Instagram and Facebook automatically. You film once, you schedule it once, and that's how you manage content across all your channels. Think of automation as hiring a part-time assistant who never takes a holiday and doesn't drink your coffee. So there you are, 5 smart ways to save you at least 5 hours a week and to stop drowning in admin and focusing on impact. Number 1 is scheduling. Get your schedule right and you will be organised. Number 2, the 4 of leadership: delete, delegate and do. Automate emails. Number 3. 4 is simplify your filing. And 5, let AI handle the boring stuff. Now go out there and perform. Remember, I'm here to help. Thank you for listening.